America's secret war, those escalating drone attacks in the air and the consequences on the ground. And the question, is it making the United States safer?
President Obama today defended his administration's counterterrorism policy, specifically his covert drone war, and he admitted publicly, for the first time in his own words, that he approved the 2011 drone killing of American-born cleric Anwar al-Awlaki, the suspected face of al-Qaeda in Yemen.
What I'm hearing from intelligence professionals is that in a place like Yemen, and I've been there several times, when you do a drone strike and you kill people that have nothing to do with terrorism, and you kill innocent civilians, you're actually creating more enemies than you're taking off the battlefield. So it potentially could have blowback on you.
My name is Daniel Burns. I live in Ithaca, New York. I'm a house painter. I'm a coffee roaster. I own Silent City Uprising Coffee. I'm an activist, and I'm a father.
My name is Harry Prine, and I don't have any particular religious affiliation, although I grew up in a rural town, and we went to a Presbyterian church.
I'm James Ricks. I'm 64. I'm a Muslim now, but I was a baptized Catholic. Found some very contentious dictates and beliefs in Catholicism at the time.
My name is Claire Grady, and I live in Ithaca, New York. And I grew up in the Bronx, and my family's part of the faith and resistance community that has taken part in nonviolent symbolic acts of resistance against war, killing, racism.
My name is Louis DiBenedetti. I'm 70 years old and have been a Catholic all my life, and continue associating with the Catholic worker movement here in Ithaca.
I am a social work student at Cuca College. I've lived in Ithaca on and off for, since I was like 17, so about 10 years now. I do a little bit of activism, but really most of my stuff right now is focused on school, so I'm not doing as much as I would like to be doing.
It moves me to try to understand what love one another means. What does loving one another mean? And kind of figure out more easily what it doesn't mean. Like, it's pretty clear to me at this point, and I could change, that killing one another is not loving one another. And Cornel West put it this way, it's like, don't trump each other's possibilities. So if I kill you, I may think like, you gotta go down. You're just getting in the way of good things. How do I know all that about you? And it like puts me in this place of like God or something.
I'm atheist. So the religious aspect of which is important to a lot of people doesn't come into play for me from an organized religion point of view. But it is certainly very important for me that people be treated fairly and humanely. And I think that's where my particular drive comes from.
Yeah. Violence only begets further violence. I've seen Waziristan sheikhs say that whenever they can get it within their grasp that they want to exact revenge for whoever had killed their sons, their sisters, their brothers, their mothers. Just imagine how you would feel if, and people here find this like completely unbelievable, if China decided there were some dissidents here that they wanted to take out with a military strike and it happened to kill your family. They say, well, we're sorry, but you know, it's the course of war. We found these people to be, you know, problematic for us in the future and decided we can attack them anywhere, even if they happen to be walking around here on this school, if we can spot them, and we apologize for that. I don't know if you would find that acceptable.
Civically, I know that if, as a parent, that if you do anything to my children, no religion is going to help me forgive you. I'm going to try and spend the rest of my life to kill you. That's it. And you would understand that I would want revenge, especially if there were no weapons of mass destruction, or if you're in Afghanistan trying to get rid of the town, whatever. If you kill my kid, I'm coming after you. And every time we kill a child, or a brother or sister, or a father, we're creating more terrorism, because if you killed my father had 12 children, we'd all come after you. And eventually, after we've killed over 1 million people in Iraq, and I don't know how many in Afghanistan, but there are websites you can go find out, every one of those people have brothers and sisters. And mathematically speaking, they're going to get over this border, and they're going to fight back, and they're going to lash out, and a 9/11 type thing's going to happen again. So civically, that's my civic duty, is to try and prevent another 9/11.
Do you have a civic duty? Do you have a duty to God? Where does your duty as a human being, where does that lie? And it's a really complicated question. I think in some ways, from my perspective, there's a spiritual angle, definitely, but I couldn't say where it comes from specifically. If anything, it's the more Eastern sense of karma and not repeating the same mistakes and just being a decent guy to your neighbor, you know.
Like, we did the action, the St. Patrick's 4 action. Like, I don't like referring to it as St. Patrick. It just happened to be on St. Patrick's Day for me, and I fought to have the name be, you know, the Ithaca 4. So, like, whenever I see the religious thing come up, St. Patrick had nothing to do with me doing that action whatsoever. And I don't like the name because I don't want to be considered a part of the religious right, which is kind of diminished now in popularity. But however, at the time, the religious right was very strong. So I like saying Catholic worker. I like saying St. Patrick's 4 because it screws them up, because they have laid claim to the word of the teachings of Christ, or, you know, Judaism, or anything. They just proclaim themselves at the top of the heap, like what we say goes, because, you know, we have the Lord on our side. And so when you say Catholic worker, everybody thinks, oh, it's part of the church, and it's not. It is the Catholic left, and it is not embraced by the Catholic Church.
My sense of it is that when the police kill people, they don't tell the truth. Well, when anyone kills the people, they don't tell the truth. And when the police kill a black man, just historically in this country, the truth is really hard to find. And that the job of finding out the truth is not just the job of the police, and it's not just the job of the special prosecutor. It's our job, the people. And if you let them get away with telling you the lie, then that murder is not just on them, it's on you. So that is a really strong feeling I have. Just as much as killing kids in Afghanistan feels like my business, because it's being done in my name. When they killed Sean Greenwood, right, a few blocks from me, that was being done in my name, and I needed to take a stand on that.
I've been to some of those protests. I've protested with Louis, and I've also been up to Hancock, but not arrested. So, but I do go and participate, and I do support those actions. So, because I don't believe that we should be killing from afar. I don't believe that we should be creating those conflicts on like other soil.
Anyway, I remember sitting in the jail cell, and I had this orange jumpsuit on. And this is the Tompkins County Jail, and the woman guard comes up to me and goes, "If you don't like this country so much, why don't you leave it?" And I said, "I actually love this country a lot. If you didn't notice, I'm wearing this orange jumpsuit and I'm behind these bars. That's how much I love it." And the fact that I'm Catholic gives me the nonviolence and gives me the hope of forgiveness for my actions and to be able to forgive others.
If you're going to seek God, you need to seek justice. And with the drone, I found that it was extremely immoral and killing very innocent people in a war that they had nothing to do with.
I think if you take, there's obviously some scenario that would be necessary to have something like that could be useful. Like, say there was a forest fire and they're looking for people who were lost, and or a flood or an earthquake. You can send the drones in with cameras on it. I don't think they should be used in. I think that they need to be put on the ground, and new laws need to be guidelines of their use. Because we don't know what a war crime is with them. They're new. All the treaties we have in the UN, Nuremberg, all those things, these things that exist, they're new. Again, that's where new law comes in. That's where the law supports the current time we're in. And I think that they should have a clear guideline, because they're not going to go away. When you say ground the drones, it's not really going to happen. It's grounding means temporary. So ground them, get some guidelines, sign treaties with them, and enforce them. That's it.
Yeah, this is a poem I wrote after I had voted for Barack Obama and was a little disappointed at his performance, I guess I would say. I call it Deadly Makeover. Politics, it made strange bedfellows, they say. How much of that game were you planning to play? You won the election, you sent Bush back to the South. Barack, is that Cheney's in your mouth? I read the audacity of hope. You invited me to dare that this shit could be fair. Now some time has passed and I feel like a dope. I'm talking to you. I voted for you. I never voted before. Now you got blood on my hands and you got blood on my door? It takes time to turn this huge ship of state as an empty refrain for those left dead in its wake. The death of our own cuts too close to the bone, so we can send in the drones. We can capitalize on our high-tech advantage. Collateral damage will be easy to manage if the ones that we kill, if they don't look like us. We can still play these fools. We can still keep their trust. We can play them, delay them, and then leave them for dead. We can keep this same monster. We need just change his head. Barack.